as you all know, what I do is bring partners to you all so I can help your job to be a little bit easier. So we actually received our last partner. As you all know, it's Work Ready Oklahoma. And so we're completely full. We don't have any other partners that are coming on board or any of that kind of stuff. So pretty happy with the family that we have here of partners. So I have a list of people that are going to go in order to talk about their programs. And this is a 2-hour session, and I mean, we're banging it out pretty hard. So if you have to get up to go to the restroom, you know, you don't have to raise your hand, just go. But we are recording this, and my hope and dreams are that as we have new individuals come on board with us, if there's ever a need for that, or we just need a refresher, you guys will be able to go back to the videos and learn about what people do. And then my hope is also that as you learn about the programs, you will go to the individuals directly and get their assistance. So if you have a veteran, for instance, you might go to Charles or to Michael, or you know, whatever the case may be. So anyway, I'm not going to take up too much of your time, and we'll get started with Donna Sanders. She is a co-center manager here, longtime employee of the Oklahoma Employment Security Commission. I think it was called something before it was OESC, but I can't swear by that. So anyway.
No, OESC.
If you could get into the screen, like right over here.
That's why you're telling me this.
Yes.
Hey.
And then we'll get started with your first slideshow. Go ahead.
Okay, well, obviously, Donna Sanders, not Travis Rollins. This is some of the things that we're going to be going over. Who is Oklahoma Employment Security Commission, Wagner Pizer, Unemployment Insurance Service to Claimants, Veterans, and Job Seekers, and OK Job Match, what it is. Go for the next one. Labor market information, work opportunity tax credit, federal bonding, job fairs, Oklahoma Works office locations. Okay, we were created, not we, I wasn't there then, created in 1941. This is the Oklahoma Employment Security Commission strive to provide employment security and in doing so promote the economic well-being of the state of Oklahoma. Every effort is made to establish a functional statewide labor exchange to accommodate the needs of Oklahoma employers and residents. That's okay. We're responsible for administrating the USDOL programs to include Wagner Pizer and unemployment insurance, employment services, and unemployment services. Wagner Pizer Act of 1933 established a nationwide system of public employment offices known as employment service. The act was amended in 1998 to make the employment service part of the one-stop service delivery system, also known as America's Job Centers. I will say this has been a process of 20 years trying to get all the services put together, and it's finally come to fruition. One-stop delivery system provides universal access to an integrated array of labor exchange services so that workers, job seekers, and businesses can find the services they need in one stop and frequently under one roof, in easy to find locations. I know I'm going to be reading all this for you. I know you can read, but I wanted to hit the highlights of this. We maintain the unemployment insurance program, which was established through the Social Security Act of 1935 to pay unemployment benefits to qualified unemployed wage earners. These funds are paid from the employer, not the job seeker doesn't pay in. It's the employer pays in through a state tax, and that's where the benefits come from. Unemployment benefits are paid as a weekly sum to qualified unemployed wage earners covered under the law. OESC makes rigorous efforts to locate suitable employment opportunities and or provide reemployment assistance to those individuals receiving unemployment benefits may reenter the workforce as quickly as possible. This is what we are trying to strive for right now. Now that the pandemic is slowed down, unemployment has slowed down, now's the time to go back to work. Veterans have priority of services. U.S. Department of Labor provides grant funds to the state of Oklahoma to provide employment and training services to eligible residents and workers. As a condition to receiving those funds, priority of services will be given to qualified veterans when referring individuals to job openings, DOL-funded training programs, or related services. In accordance with the implementation of the Veterans Priority provision of the Jobs for Veterans Act, qualified veterans will receive priority referrals to services over non-veterans as determined by each program's mandatory eligibility criteria. Whenever somebody comes in, and I'm gonna have Charles come up and tell you about this. Whenever somebody comes into our office, the first thing that we are going to be asking them, how may we serve you, and did you, were you in the military? Have you served in the military? If they have, there is a triage sheet that we'll have them fill out, and they will go to the front of the cards. So they will have priority of services above anyone else. Charles, now would be a good time for you to have your side of the veteran information.
Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, y'all ain't chipper today? What's going on? What's going on with y'all? Okay, all right, I'm gonna piggyback what Donna said. Okay, I'm Charles Clark. I'm a disabled veteran outreach program specialist. Larry's the local leader. I will cover his portion, and then I go into what I do. Local leader is a local veteran employment representative, in which, in other words, they go to employers and talk to employees about getting jobs for veterans. We give them their resume, and he put in place with the right employers to meet the right fit. Also, on this, DVOP was created in 1970 due to the Vietnam War. Most veterans coming back unemployed. So we created a program for them to get specialized training as case managers. The reason how as Donna said, they refer to us, they got referred, everybody got a sheet in front of them called a prior service sheet. You go down, they got it for us, for the ES staff to do their triage, then they refer. The employment staff must refer a veteran to us under certain criteria, such as being compensation, incarcerated, low income, Vietnam era, spouse, and 100% and 100%. This 100% of a veteran die. If he was 100%, his wife, we can see his wife due to him. And the thing is, what we do, I talk to them with veterans about getting them employment. I look at their resume, go down, make sure, look at their resume, and find them with the right employer. And that's pretty much it. And y'all are, it's that y'all determine who I see. It's the shit in front of you. Anybody got any questions? Smile. Thank you.
Thanks, Travis.
Thanks, Charles.
And just so you will know, if somebody comes in the office and they are a veteran, but we have no veteran staff, our ES staff, our employment service staff, they are veterans in place of the veteran staff.
Donna, can you talk about procedurally what we want the group here to do if you're not an ES staff and you have a customer who at that time identifies as a veteran, what the procedural thing would be?
Well, if you're seeing a veteran, the first thing they need to do is go to employment service staff, because we have to make sure that they are fully registered. We need to make sure that their resume, they have some kind of a resume in there. We have to do the GEP. They used to be basic employment plan, so basically we want to know what kind of employment you're looking for, the money that goes with the job, and how much education you're going to need. So we can give the vet staff some kind of idea what this vet is looking for. Okay, there are 27 Oklahoma Works centers throughout the state of Oklahoma. We all do the same thing, no matter what local office you go to, we all have the same services. We do orientation to the information and services available, initial assessment to assess your needs and abilities. We do job referrals based on what you're looking for and the employers out there, job search and placement assistance, job readiness workshops, job search workshops, career consultations and explorations, job seeker networking and support, customized resume preparation assistance, labor market information, skills upgrading and training. Basically everything that, federal bonding, wonderful program, the work opportunity tax credit and career counseling. We get them all set up. If we cannot bring them any services through OESC, that's where our partners come in. Okay, Job Match is employment resources that match job seekers with employers based on, okay, we have job seekers, it'd be easier for me to explain it this way. We have job seekers in the system, they put their resumes in the system. We also have employers in the system where they put the jobs in the system. This is a great system because it'll match your skills by whether it be salary, it'll match it by occupation, it'll match it by, what am I trying to think of? Anyway, it matches them. By your skills, certifications. If I go in there and I say, I wanna look for everyone that has a bachelor's degree in Oklahoma City within a 20-mile radius of 73105, it's gonna bring up all the resumes in that area. No matter what the degree is, you've got a BA, so it's gonna look at those. That's kind of what an employer does. Oklahoma Work Opportunity Tax, this is a great opportunity. So if it doesn't just go by somebody that is unemployed, if you're an ex-offender, if you're on TANF, veteran, disabled veteran, summer youth, disconnected youth, food stamp recipient, this will be a opportunity for an employer to not only get a wonderful job seeker, it will also give them tax credit for hiring this person. Okay. Federal bonding program. Federal bonding program provides individuals fidelity bonds to employers for job applicants who are deemed unbondable by commercial carriers because of arrest history, alcohol, poor credit, lack of employment history. So if an employer is on the fence of hiring somebody with these barriers, they can fill out some paperwork and get a bonding for that person. So if there's any equipment missing, any equipment broken, then this will pay for it.
Is that for felons as well? Sorry for
Mhm.
for felons.
Job fairs, we used to do job fairs by twice a year. We would have a huge job fair. Now it's done a little bit different, but we have a lot of employers that will contact us saying, I'd like to do a virtual job fair, or maybe we can do a hiring event in this office or any local office. So it's always gonna be on our website if we do have any job fairs. OESC is a proud partner of Oklahoma Works. This is a great opportunity for us to work with all of our resources, which is all of you. So, anyway, here's all the offices that we have in the state of Oklahoma. I believe Kim is going to give everyone the PowerPoint, so you'll have this information of all the local offices should you need it.
The next slide says Travis, but.
Oh, next time. Yeah. Donna Sanders.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. next up, we have, since Charles kind of, already gave, did you want to add some more, to what you said at all? Maybe talk a little bit about, Larry, you were talking about Larry and what he does as a lever, but maybe come back up here and talk about the job clubs that he has.
Okay, all right, I got you. Good morning, I guess a good afternoon
Again, Charles, again, everybody, Charles.
I don't like nobody clapping their hands. That's such a but good morning. Okay, Larry is the local leader, local veteran employment representative. What he does every monthly, prior to COVID, we have a monthly job club in which he give employers. They say we won't have vets for some skill sets such as
Sorry.
a nuclear engineer, IT, financial. So we get together, we bring out the vets in, whether you're, what we call them, I'm glad you did bring me back. Then got called the program called Vocational Rehabilitation Employment Program, VRA. What they is, they come refer due to their disabilities. They gotta have some jobs, a skill set that's not interfere with their disability. That's very important. I'm part of that program myself right now. Come old and broke down. You know, you get old, kind of gray. It's kind of senile, but anyway, but smile. But the thing is, we get them and we give it to employers, marketing with jobs. And then job and Mustang being disabled, because we don't work with veterans with barriers standpoint thing. Everyone that come in and to come see us through the stuff, has a barrier. But then maybe financial, mental, who knows? It's a barrier. He has a barrier. And we here, as me as a DBOP, disabled veteran outreach program specialist to help him overcome that barrier to get him suitable employment. Another thing, in the job clubs, due to COVID now, prior to COVID March 2020, I think, that was right, March 2020.
Yes.
We just have them every month, and now we have a virtual. Last job club we had was about this year, about June. And then we give employees, we serve and talk. And they get jobs. I talk to employees if they need. They say, Charles, we need this. I give them and give them the right veteran to match the job. And that's it. And me, it's a DBOP. Everybody see me out here every day. It's just help veterans get jobs. And anybody have any questions for me for being a disabled veteran outreach program specialist? Any other questions? Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. I appreciate you.
Charles.
There's just a second half of what, just as Charles mentioned, there's 2 parts to it. So, Charles and his group help prepare the veterans, and then Larry then helps them get employed. So we just want to make sure that you all know that there's that 2 parts to
I got
that.
one thing. I go back right there. I knew we recorded again. Oh man, I forgot. Yeah. But as I know, we all part of agency. We all part of this here to work together. You got a vet? You got any questions? Go to the inside, please. Say Charles. Hey, anybody back there? We need help with this vet. I'll be more than happy to help you. More than happy. Thank you.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate you. All right. So Denise Heichi is going to talk to you all about the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act. So Denise Heichi.
Good afternoon.
If you could come right there. I'm sorry.
Is that good, Dana? So, Denise Heichi, WIOA program, which stands for the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act. So basically, in a nutshell, we're a federally funded education and training program. So we have federal dollars to assist those that are in need of education, training, or employment. To do our program, you must meet certain requirements. So for the adult program, you have to be 18 and up, fall in the category of low income. That means you're receiving either TANF or SNAP benefits. Or if you are working or have worked, we look at your gross income and you must meet what's called poverty guidelines. For dislocated worker, that is someone that is receiving unemployment or what we say UI benefits. And then of course, veteran status, and just like everybody else mentioned, veterans do get priority services. Services that we offer, resume interview skills, skill assessment, skills upgrade, career guidance, job referrals, and then we have the transitional jobs and on-the-job training piece, which I'll go a little bit more detailed in just a little bit. Our young adult program is for ages 16 to 24, and we normally focus on those that are out of school. So the ages do overlap, so if they are in the adult program age category, if we can get them into the young adult program, that is the preference, because the young adults will get incentives, monetary incentives, that I'm sure that they would definitely be able to utilize. So if they're 16 to 24 and out of school and they meet at least one of these barriers, and I'll go through them really quick, they could be an individual with a disability. Disability could be learning, physical, mental. We don't ask for details, they just say they have a disability, they have a disability. They could be a school dropout. They could be low income and have low reading or math skills. Low income and English is their second language. Had trouble with the law, what we call an offender. Homeless or runaway, in foster care or aged out of foster care. Pregnant or already a parent. Low income and has a parent or guardian that is or was incarcerated. Low income has a parent or guardian that does not have their high school diploma or GED. And low income and went to a low performing school. And the low performing schools come from the State Department of Education website. It's called Priority Schools. And so if that school is on that list, that's considered a low performing school. Services that we offer, kind of the same thing as the adult program, with the exception of the soft skills training, which is called Dynamic Futures that we do. And then, of course, again, they do get the incentive. So an example would be if they do Dynamic Futures, which is mandatory for all of our young adults once they enroll. They do the Dynamic Futures piece, which is basically soft skills that they need, how to do a job interview, resumes, how to dress in the workplace. We do some financial literacy, we go over labor market, so on and so on. It's a $300 incentive for completing that class. So that's just one example, but there are an entire list of different incentives that they can earn while they're in the program. We are considered Central Oklahoma, so we serve 9 different counties. So we have, of course, Oklahoma County, Canadian County, Lincoln, Pottawatomie, Cleveland, Logan, Hughes, Seminole, and Okfuskee. So we do have offices in all of these counties except for Okfuskee County right now. So if we have a client that comes in and say maybe they live in Norman or they live in Yukon, we'll put them with the closest career navigator that is in the county closest to them, okay? Training must be in a high demand occupation. Training can be short-term or long-term. Short-term is anything that could be a year or less. That may be to go get CNA, CDL, things like that are pretty popular right now. Long-term could be up to 2 years. That may be like, say they're gonna go to Rose State, get an associate's degree. Maybe they're going to do Metro Tech Aviation, which is normally an 18-month program. Things where there's semesters is normally considered a long-term program. Whatever they do must be in demand. So we do have a demand occupation list that comes out normally once every spring. And if it's in demand and we have a school approved to provide the training, that is possibly an option for the client. Whatever they do must result in a credential. So that means they're gonna come out with a degree, a license, a certification, something. And we do need proof that they've completed, as well as a copy of their credential, as well as job placement information when they've obtained that job, okay? All right, all of our clients, regardless of age, will do the OK Career Guide assessment. The purpose of the assessment is to see what is a good career match for them. So whatever they're wanting to go to school for, they must have a match or a related match in order for us to justify paying for the training. The exception to the rule is if they have documented prior work experience in that field. So say, for example, they want to do CNA, but they didn't have a match or related match. Say that they've already been doing personal care aid, which does not require a certification. We can use that work experience to justify paying for the CNA training, okay? TABE is Test of Adult Basic Education, and that is for our young adults that are not high school graduates. So the TABE is administered to all high school dropouts for sure, and potentially maybe others if we see that they may have some literacy or numeracy issues. We can test them and see where they are. Otherwise, they will not TABE, which our last group, our navigators, were nodding their head like, yes, you're saving us time because it does take a little while to TABE them, so. Our on-the-job training and work experience piece. So we have Terry Eater, who's here in this building. He's our business services. And so his job, as well as Dana and the board, their job is to go out and network with businesses and get them on board to be a business partner. So we have probably, guessing, about 60 companies right now that are on board with us throughout the 9-county area. And so basically what we do is we have clients that are interested in those positions. We submit a resume, they interview with a potential company hires them on, they start working. There is a contract that's already been put in place and everything before with the company. So for the on-the-job training piece, this one is more hands-on task specific. So they may train for 500 hours, 800 hours, it just depends on the complexity of the job, as well as the pay of the job as to how many hours that they'll get. This one is determined to be, or designed to be, turning into full-time employment upon completion of the training if the client does a good job. While they're going through the training, we do subsidize the wages 50% and the company pays the other 50%. So basically the company pays the employee and then they submit for reimbursement. On the other program called Work Experience or Transitional Jobs, so Work Experience is for the young adults 16 to 24 that fall into that category. And then the transitional jobs is for the adults that are unemployed or underemployed for the last 27 weeks or more. This job is designed to be temporary. They normally work 240 hours. There is a possibility of getting an extension, but normally 240. And we pay 100% of the wages on this program. Again, it's designed to be temporary. We have some employers that will hire the clients on permanently, or we have companies that will take a WEX or transitional job and turn it into an OJT and then hire them on permanently. So we do have some companies that do that, so that is an option. If you are interested to see like what positions we have open, Ms. Kim sends out the hot jobs list every Tuesday. If you aren't subscribed to that, you can get added to the list for that. And the last normally 3 or 4 pages are gonna be our jobs that are through the work experience and on the job training. Training payments. So the things we can pay for are tuition and fees. So if a client is going to school, we'll cover the tuition and fees, normally up to a max of $5,000. And then we can also do supportive services. And that's gonna include if they needed books, uniforms, tools, equipment, and testing fees. An example would be CNA, they're gonna need books and scrubs. So we can either pay for those in advance, or if the client purchases those things, they can submit receipts for reimbursement, okay? How to apply. So you have a few options. You can go online to cowib.org/apply. You'll do an online application. That online application comes to myself and to Katie, who is our new customer service rep trainer. Katie's located in Youth Village, which is just down the hall here. You'll see her just kind of out in the open there, the room with the computers. So you'll see her there. So once a customer applies, we have 48 business hours to make contact with them and then follow up with them. We also have orientation here every Tuesday at 9 o'clock. It lasts for about an hour. Out front at the receptionist desk is the book that has the sign-up sheet. And so you guys are welcome to sign anybody up. If someone calls, you know, the front desk, whoever's answering the phone will sign them up. And then they come in. I think we can do 15 each week is the max that I think is on the list. And if they are here in person, or you just want to refer someone, we do have the information sheets available. You can just fill that out or have the client fill it out, give it to Katie or myself, and then we'll follow up with them that way too. Yes, ma'am?
The information sheets, you mean like little half sheets they have with a lot of the
No, not that one. I didn't bring any in here today.
Okay.
I'll get it to you.
I don't guess I've seen those, so.
I'll get it to you.
curious.
It's just a basic information sheet that has basic demographic information, and then it'll ask questions like, are you getting UI, SNAP
Yeah, I would like
TANF?
to have some of those for those who aren't so computer savvy.
Okay.
to fill out. Yeah.
Absolutely, I'll get you some after we're done.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. And then of course you can come and say, hey, Miss Denise, I got somebody that's interested, or hey, Miss Katie, you know, just since you're here, why not?
Right.
Just bring them to us while they're here. It just makes it that much easier. Okay?
Talk about the on-call worker and the.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so if you aren't aware, we do have an on-call navigator each day. The schedule's put out monthly. And so if a client walks in or there's a phone call, you have just a, you know, hey, I wanna find out about this training program, or I heard I can get my CDLs, cause I get that a lot. You can have them talk to the on-call navigator or, transfer that call to the on-call navigator. So the schedule is normally posted up front, but we can get you guys a copy, that way you'll know who's on call each day. And then again, always, if you can't get the on-call person, Marcy is the lead here in Oklahoma City. And again, I'm here and Katie's here, so you can come grab one of us.
The orientation video. and these-
Orientation video is actually online with the voiceover. So if you have a client that can't come in to do orientation or, wanna learn more information, you can give them the information to do it, or if they're here, we've got it on the computers here, so they can sit down and literally go through it that way as well. Okay, thank you.
Quick question on that,
Yes.
so if they did miss the orientation, you're saying that they can see it online, do I bring them to you, or is there a website that we provide them?
It's on the CoWeb website.
What I'm saying?
No,
It's on YouTube.
I'm sorry, it's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. You can find the on-call worker and have them set them up, because I have them linked here at the youth village. We have computers in here. So you can just launch the video and they can listen to it. We have headphones if they don't want to blast it out loud or whatever.
So
So
staff will set that up in-house, what if they say I'm running out of time, I gotta go home?
then we'll
Give them a
provide you the YouTube video link on it. But if they apply online, they will get an email receipt that says thank you for applying. It talks about registering an OK job match. It talks about our video, because it has a link embedded in it, and then it has our community resources as well. So the online application process is probably the best way, just because we can keep track of them. They get a receipt, and then all that information that you just asked about is all in one return of email receipt to them.
Now, in my experience in the office, you'll need IDs, and we usually provide just a copy and hand it to you. What if they do that online? Is there a way to upload IDs?
So, not necessarily, but if they're your client, we have access, we use OK Job Match, so, and if you're verifying them, then we just get the information from you. So, that makes sense.
I've had OESC staff that would fill out the information sheet and then go ahead and make their copy of their 2 forms of ID, and because they know we're gonna need that, and go ahead and provide that to us for their file, so that is an
Yeah,
option.
and I'm mainly asking that because I know sometimes things change from like we don't send IDs and emails now, and it's like, I guess they need to be here to do that or do it before they leave and then send them out, I guess. So, all right. Big range in that.
So that leads up to the documents that we do need, so right on time, Robert. So the 2 forms of ID, so we use what's on the I-9 form. So if they have a passport, that's all that we would need. And if not, it has to be something in column B and C, so ID and social, or ID and birth certificate, or whatever else is listed on the I-9 if they don't have those documents. Documents do have to be valid, they cannot be expired. If a client has an out-of-state ID, we normally ask for proof of residency, or an address outside of our 9 counties. We normally ask for proof of residency, which could be as simple as, a lease agreement, utility bill, something of that nature. And then of course we ask that all males are registered with Selective Service. So when you turned 18, you're supposed to register for the draft. If you're not registered between the age of 18 and 26, you do have to obtain what's called an exemption letter. Normally you call them, they'll ask you why didn't you register, and go through that process, and they'll mail out an exemption letter. For income piece, we ask for either UI verification, so we can get that here since we are in the building with you guys. We also ask for the layoff or termination letter from their previous employer. If they're doing SNAP or TANF, we ask that they print off the OK DHS Live document from that website. So normally once they log into the DHS website, they go to view my open cases, and the screen that pops up is what we need, because it has all the information that we need. It'll have their name, their case number, who's on the case, the amount that they receive each month, and when the next payment is, showing that they have an active case. And then if they're not receiving any of that and we're using income, we will ask for all pay stubs for the last 6 months, so we can calculate gross income and make sure they fall under poverty guidelines. and that is based on the household size. So if they say, okay, well, it's me and my 2 kids, then that would be a family of 3, and we would use the guidelines for that. So they do have to provide the documentation. Now, if it is a youth, 16 to 24, then they'll provide the 2 forms of ID and then proof of whatever their barrier is, depending on the barrier that they select. Okay?
I have a question also
Yes.
on that. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with the resource computers right there, but has anyone had access to the DHS website on there, or do we have designated computers for that?
To my knowledge,
I've been having
They-
problems, that's why I'm saying that.
you haven't been able to get to the site,
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah,
I tried to set somebody up. the other day.
that's an issue, because we need to
Okay.
have access to that if we're gonna be able to do that.
Okay, so I didn't know that the resource room computers wouldn't.
So are you saying you need a shortcut? Talk to me a little bit
It
more
seems like
about
it's
what you're
blocking,
saying.
like,
Yeah, it's
if I
blocking
type in
the
anything
website.
into the
Okay.
URL, it's
Okay.
blocking me from the website.
Well, that's probably because of the security, that you all have, OESC has. So, I'm gonna notate that and we'll talk to Brad about what we can do about having that available. If not, you may have to just walk them to these computers over here because they're not on the same system.
Excellent.
Or bring the client to one of us and we can
Yep.
help them log on and print it off for them.
I would lay money, it has to do with your security.
I did too.
Because it's not a secure, it was a debate a long time ago with DHS that their site in general is just not secure, so OESC was not okay with launching that particular platform. We had that conversation in Shawnee, but we will follow up. That's a good question and comment. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you. Okay, you can go to the next.
So,
Okay, questions? Any other questions? No? Okay, well, thank you guys for your time. At any time, feel free, to get info sheets from us. If you need brochures, adult and young adult brochures to share with clients, we will make those readily available to you. I know there are some brochures out, there's a little table next to Work Ready's office. There are some out over there, but, if you need more, just let me know. Okay, if no questions, thank you guys.
thank you. Alrighty, so next up, we have Michael Loomis with Veterans Workers Bound.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Good to see everyone today. My name is Michael Loomis, and I'm an academic advisor with Veterans Upward Bound. Go to the next slide. What I'll be doing today, first of all, going what is Veterans Upward Bound? What are some of the eligibility requirements for the program? And then also some of the services that we provide, such as career awareness, academic preparation, assisting with the admissions process, financial aid, and I'll go into a little more detail on that when I get further into the presentation. Go to the next one. Okay, what is Veterans Upward Bound? Veterans Upward Bound is a free educational prep program that provides skills and advice to assist qualified military veterans achieve their academic goals. This program prepares veterans to enroll in a post-secondary school, so we assist, it can be a university like OU, OSU, UCO, and it can also be a community college, OCCC, Rose State, or even a vocational technical program, like they're looking to get their CDL or heavy equipment college. So we assist pretty much any type of school whatsoever. And this program is free for veterans to qualify. We're a grant program, and we're funded by the Department of Education. Okay, eligibility. I'm not gonna read all this because I will bore you to death. So in a nutshell, as far as who's eligible for the program, the veteran, anyone that does not, besides a dishonorable discharge, we can assist. Even if they do though have a dishonorable, I would still like to talk to them. Even though they might not qualify for our program, we can still find another resource for them. So I really like to talk to any veteran that comes through. But as far as this program, they cannot have a dishonorable discharge. They must have served on active duty for more than 180 days. Or they could have a service-connected disability where they're getting like a rating that also qualifies for the program. And then they also must meet one or both of the following criteria. They must be a first-generation college student. And that means neither one of their parents has a 4-year college degree. So if they have like an associate degree, that doesn't count, but if either one of their parents has a 4-year degree, they do not qualify. And they also must be either economically disadvantaged. That's based off their taxable income and how many household members they have. We have a little chart for that. Okay, to the next slide. As far as some of the services we provide career awareness. When we first meet with them, we have them take a career assessment. It helps identify what area of study they would like to pursue, what are some of their strengths. We don't want a veteran coming in here, like I had a guy the other day, like, I want to be an electrical engineer. He's horrible at math, so I don't want to throw him in there. It burns his GI Bill, so we want to make sure that we're finding the proper program for him. Then based off that career assessment, we can determine what school, college, or university has a program in the area of study they would like to pursue. Okay, we also help with academic preparation. We first meet with them, we have take what's called a COMFIT test, and that evaluates them on their reading, writing, basic math skills, and elementary algebra as well. A lot of these veterans have been out of school 12, 16, 20 years. Last thing we want to do is throw them right into school and they're not prepared. Once again, they'll burn their GI Bill. So what we do, based off their scores, we can determine if they might need tutoring. And we actually have a tutor here on site. Her name's Miss Osa Brown. She's a retired Oklahoma City teacher, taught for over 40 years, great lady. And she can do it in person or also via Zoom. But our main goal is not only to get people in school, but to make sure they're as prepared as possible. Okay. We also help with the admissions process. We review the admissions information for the school they're applying for. We assist with registration of any entrance or placement exams. That's where the tutoring kind of comes in handy. They might be able to clump out of some classes as well. And then we assist with ordering any official military transcripts. Great thing for veterans, a lot of stuff they've done in the military, work-related or even classes, will transfer over into school. So that'll shorten their time frame and save them money in the long run as well. Next thing we help with is the financial aid process. We identify which VA benefits they may be eligible for. We assist them with applying for the VA education benefits. There's like a Montgomery GI Bill, that's prior to 2001 if they served post 9/11. We also have them complete the free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA. Anyone that's went to school here has probably filled that out. Great thing on that, you don't have to take the loans. You can take, if you qualify for a Pell Grant, that's money they don't have to pay back. So we definitely have them, we help with that as well. And then we also look for any scholarships they may be eligible for, similar to the Pell Grant. That's money in their pocket that they don't have to pay back. We try to stay away from loans if possible. Okay, another thing that we provide, we identify the campus resources for the veteran. We assist with identifying the key personnel offices on the campus. You're going to a new school, you want to know where to go. Number one, we want to know who the VA school certifying official is. That might be the most important for them. They're the one that processes their GI benefits. We also look for any veteran student support services, or other campus tutoring programs. Most schools do have free tutoring, so we want to make sure that they're set up on that as well. We want them to locate where the financial aid bursar and records office is, any testing and accommodations or disability services if needed, and then just any general veteran services. But our goal, make them feel as comfortable when they step on that campus, they know exactly where to go. Okay, also, obviously we help with, my job is to help with education, but if you have a veteran, if they're looking to go to school maybe in a year, but they might need help with some other resources. We've partnered with a lot of other organizations that can also help. If they have any basic needs for housing, food, transportation, please let me know as well. If they have a service-connected disability, I can set them up with the VA on that. For mental health, there's a VA vet center. It's like 2 miles from here. It's free for veterans if they're having suicide thoughts, mental health. Please let me talk to them on that. Physical health, you have the VA hospital downtown. For legal, there's Legal Aid Services of Oklahoma and Oklahoma Lawyers for American Heroes program. Those are free for veterans, so if they have any type of legal problems, there's also resources available for that as well. Employment, we refer them right here to the workforce. And then for vocational rehab, we also help them with that. It's called VR&E. Say they don't have any of their GI benefits left. If they have a service-connected disability, we can refer them over there, and they will, in a lot of cases, pay for their school. So there's other options, even if they don't have their GI benefits. Okay, next slide. Okay, well, so in a nutshell, if you have any veterans whatsoever, bring them over here. I'm actually located in the cubicle directly across from the break room. Come by and say hi anytime. I work with a lady, Karen White. She's a cubicle ahead of me. If I'm not in, you can talk to her as well. But does anyone have any questions whatsoever?
Can you talk about the different areas you serve?
Oh, yes, I forgot to say that.
I'll
get
let
back
you
to you,
finish
okay?
if you want.
I'm based at Redlands College in El Reno. There's also 2 other VUB sites. We have one at East Central University in Ada, then also UCO. A lot of it, we cover the same territories. I cover 14 counties, pretty much all the way up from Ponca City, all the way down to Lawton. From I-35, pretty much anything west. So we cover all those different counties. Even though I work for Redlands College, I work with all colleges around here, so they don't have to go to Redlands College per se. So we try to put them in a school that's the best match for them.
Yeah, so I have questions about eligibility. Kind of caught my attention when you were mentioning about they have to hit certain criteria for the eligibility, but then you said something about the parents have a 4-year degree, they don't qualify. Even if they qualify with everything else?
There's ways.
Okay.
Technically, no, but we'll still work with them. We're not gonna turn down any veteran that comes through here. So even though they technically might not be in the program, I'm still gonna do it, the same services provided for them.
Okay, so that includes like off-campus services, like you were saying earlier, all that stuff?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if they have a dishonorable discharge, like I was saying,
Right.
they don't qualify, we're still gonna provide services for them. Technically, they're not in the program, but we're still gonna help them out.
Noted, thank you.
No, you're welcome. Anybody else? All right, well, thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Michael. All right, next up, we have Guthrie Job Corps. Is Pierce.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing today?
Good.
Good. My name is Parrish Pearson. I am one of the enrollment services counselors for Guthrie Job Corps. Been there for a long time, I guess it seems like. Worked my way up through the ranks. Now I'm a recruiter for them. Job Corps, a little bit about our mission. Job Corps' mission is to educate and train highly motivated young people for successful careers in the nation's fastest growing industries. So, Job Corps at a glance is that we've been here since 1964. We were established, our oversight committee is the Department of Labor and Employment and Training Administration, just like a lot of us here. Mostly residential program. Of course, we do have a non-residential style program as far as students that are able to come and get our services on campus. And then we also transport them and take them back home. 121 Job Corps nationwide, in about all 50 states and Puerto Rico. Students, approximately 50,000 students that are served each year in our program. Our age range is from 16 to 14 years of age. Of course, there are special circumstances if you want to go, if there are 25, especially if they has a disability. We do have ways to be able to allow for that age, eligibility age criterion to be changed. Yes?
You said the age group, you said
16 to 24 years of age.
16 to 24.
Mm-hmm. 25, like I said, under special circumstances. Length of stay basically varies from student to student. We always tell our students when they come in that this program is designed to kind of allow you to go at your own pace, to allow you to get what you need in order to transition to the workforce. The key benefits of Job Corps, I want to make sure that we get those. We offer technical training in high growth industries. So for us, we have 9 different trades in Guthrie Job Corps. We have culinary arts, we have office administrations, we also have computer technology. That's not my thing. We have healthcare CNA program, and we also have security. Security kind of encompasses a number of things when you're talking about the criteria for being completed in security. And then, of course, we have those young people out, like I like to say, hey, make sure that you love the outdoors and make sure that you love using your hands and make sure that you don't mind going out there when it's, Oklahoma, we have, sometimes we can have ice the next day. So we have welding, we have carpentry, we have plumbing, and we have electrical. So those are a total of our 9 trades at the Guthrie Job Corps. Job Corps is tuition free. To be eligible, a young person, we provide, for each young person, we provide housing, we provide meals, clothing, living care allowance, hands-on training, as well as, basically transitioning to their career. So when they do come to our program, we do assist in the young people working with their resumes. job, I heard, the mock job interviews, things that like that to make sure that we get the young people the job once they complete our program. Our Job Corps students either graduate and go to maybe advanced training, or they go get an apprenticeship, or they graduate and go to advanced training, in which we always push for the young people to go to advanced training, because the more training, the more employability skills you have, and obviously the more money you can make. And we can't beat the fact that you're getting this knowledge at no cost of your own, except for your hard work and dedication. I wanted to make sure that we knew what some parts of the eligibility, just straight to the cuff. So when it comes to being eligible to enroll in Job Corps, you have to be income eligible. We are a low income program, especially for those who have a parent. You can't make too much money and not be qualified to this program. I always say, just like this young man today I interviewed, he's 18 years old. He's still staying with mom and dad, so he's not homeless technically. But if you were raised in a household that I was raised in, you turn 18 and you acting like you grown, yeah. Y'all know how that goes. Yeah, come back like you're grown. We're gonna make sure you're grown. So basically, technically, you're homeless at 18 when you stand under my roof. That's kind of how it works. Just to give you an idea, y'all laughing, but y'all know some truth to it. That's why y'all laughing at me. And you have to be committed to improving your education and future. You are in need of job skills, training, education, counseling, related assistance to help get you started in your career pathway. Of course, between the ages of 16 to 24, but 25, there are exceptions. Have to be a legal citizen, a United States citizen or resident in the U.S. territory. You cannot use illegal drugs under federal law. And we know what that means. I know you have a lot of young people. I'm in Oklahoma now, we got that card. I'm gonna show you that card, and I'm gonna slap the card on the table, and I'm gonna say, oh, that's a beautiful card. A beautiful picture. But this is a federally funded program, and therefore, it's still legal, right? We know what we're talking about, okay. I just had to make y'all smile, because that made me smile. He slapped the card on the desk. I was like, wow. And then, of course, do not exhibit behaviors of, problem behaviors that could prevent others from getting the benefits of being successful in Job Corps. Do not have certain criminal convictions or require certain court supervision. A lot of times that seems to be a barrier, especially when you're talking about court and things like that for the young people. But in a nutshell, we do not want to be the reason why a young person has failed in whatever their restitution is that they owe, because they're in a program and then they fall short. Now they're in our program, you still fall short, and now we done knocked them back another 5 or 6 feet. So we don't want to do that. So we were real strict about making sure that you're eligible, especially if you're not if you're not in the court system. And of course, we have 3 main things, which is murder, child abuse, and rape, that we really can't do anything for, because the number one thing in our program is the student's safety, because we are a federally funded program, as well as we house students, male and female. Separately, of course, but we want to make sure that every student is safe. Each student does get allowance. I know some of you know a lot about Job Corps. Each student gets allowance every 2 weeks for being a part of our program. It doesn't add up to much, like $25 every 2 weeks. At the end of the program, if a student completes his high school diploma and a trade, they get a lump sum of, I call it push-off money, get out of here money, but they get a lump sum of $600 per trade, so after taxes, a little less than $1,200 for completing the whole program, with assistance of us helping them find jobs, as well as getting advanced training. So we have a lot of relations, as far as the biggest thing that separates us is the fact that we house the students at the same time and make sure that they have their meals and any barriers that may keep them from, being safe or being, not succeeding in the program, we make sure that we can at least, control a lot of that. So that's pretty much Job Corps in a nutshell. A lot of information, but y'all see where I'm going. If you have any questions, let me know.
Is there any questions?
Any questions? Yes, anybody?
And who are your two people that are stationed here?
Oh, great. We just recently have a new person that came over here. I don't know if you've seen our young lady. Her name was Adra. Adra Badu. She's been over here the longest, but we also now have a new gentleman. His name is Jawanza Williams, and he's gonna be here assisting. So if y'all would, make him feel at home. And please, I know he's gonna probably walk up to you and ask questions, but if not, introduce yourself and, let them know that, that they're welcome, and also let them know what you do, because information is power. So I really feel that way.
All right.
Any questions?
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Salisbury, you're up. Oh, here we go.
Okay,
On
great.
cue.
All right, hello, everyone. I am Sansari Higgins. I am the adult basic ed coordinator. They call it the workforce development coordinator at Metro Tech. But I'm here on site, and my primary function here is to offer adult basic ed sessions. And those sessions will be the high set curriculum for the GED test, and then the literacy skills, reading and writing sessions, and then ESL, English as a second language. I just want to make sure that you all are aware that this screensaver is scrolling across the computer lab in the main area for the customers. So if you're assisting a customer, and if they even speak of training, or they don't have their GED and need ESL classes or literacy for reading and writing, make sure you point out that this is my direct line to my desk, and also point out to them that they can email at adultbasiced@metrotech.edu, which populates right to my desk. So at that point, as soon as it populates, I contact them usually the same day, and I get their information and put them on our roster to contact them later for the scheduling. Also, and I want to say this, high school equivalency, literacy, and ESL, all of them are 6-week sessions. 6 weeks, they'll be right here in this computer lab with the instructor, the 2 instructors that we've hired. And after the 6 weeks, they'll get a certification of completion. And then those that need to take their GED test, we'll share with them the state locations where they can take the test somewhere near them. And also we have a testing site at Metro Tech, and I'll make sure that anyone, they'll have a schedule where they can get in the slot, and I'll make sure they get taken care of. The other thing is, generally, a GED or high school diploma leads to other opportunities. And so hopefully that they'll be interested in Metro Tech. We have a lot of great options for training and education, certifications. Some of our top ones are cosmetology, air conditioning, automotive tech, medical, welding, nursing, and the 1-star program right now is aviation, because we have, of the 3 campuses, Spring Lake campus, we have our South Bryant campus, and then we also have the aviation campus, which is just west of the airport. So that is one of our star programs, and we have Tinker Air Force Base employees there and instructors there. So that leads to another level of, again, associate, bachelor's, master's, whatever they want to pursue. And I wanna share with you that anytime you have someone that speaks on a barrier or deficiency, and please know that my door is always open. If I have someone there, just ask them to wait, because a lot of times I don't get to touch the client, but your clients are my clients, or your customers are my customers. So share that information, walk them over, have them sit and wait if they need to. I just don't wanna let that opportunity get away and they miss out. So again, and for the center, I'll share this. We have these schedules. So I think I passed out, this was our fall schedule. We'll have the spring one coming out soon. And inside here, it shows the classes that we talked about. It also shows the class schedule and the cost. So a lot of time you're making plans with your customer as a career navigator or a reemployment specialist. You can talk, hey, you can get started, here's the start dates, here's the cost, and set them right up. If there's any confusion, again, please come over to me. I can connect them directly with a career advisor. Generally, there's a generic email, career.advisors@metrotech.edu, and it rolls to 5 different advisors. So they make sure they contact that person, and also there's a direct line that does the same with voicemail. So additional information is our schedule. So that you all know the logistics of it, we will be doing orientation and the assessment, the tape assessment will take here. We'll have this posted so you all know what's going on that day. So the green one is orientation and assessment. There's a $20 registration fee, but if they don't have the $20, we will not turn them away. We also have a community assistance form that they'll fill out, and I'll make sure that customer is taken care of. So on that day, as you see, I have a busy schedule, and you'll always see these signs posted that the session will be taking place for HiSET, for literacy, and then ESL. And they're color coded for a reason, because I have to keep the records for the state, and all the forms are inside. So we capture, they have to sign a conduct form just like it's school class. And then of course, all of these documents capture all the demographic information that we are addressing the barriers of literacy. Mm-hmm. And again, we applied for the literacy grant, Metro Tech. We hope to get that. And even if we don't, we've invested and we're gonna continue on. And there's other financial opportunities too for Metro Tech to really grow this. So I am counting on you all to pass over your customers to me who are speaking that language. Even if they say, my mom didn't get her high school diploma, their mom's not too old, she can attend these sessions. My brother, my sister, the whole family. Because a lot of times they're ashamed to say that this deficiency exists. But when you share an opportunity, it's a game changer. So I encourage you to do that. The other thing is, the schedule here is my tentative schedule for now, but it depends on if we can't fill the classes, we'll rotate, we'll fill as many slots as we can. But generally, just think of it like this, if you're explaining it to your customer, on Monday and Wednesday is always the HiSET GED sessions. We may have 2 levels here based on assessments. The ESL will always be on Monday afternoons and Thursday afternoons. I'll share this information as it changes, I'll make sure. The curriculum we're using some of the state of the latest versions. Project Success is a big hit, and so is the Longman Reading and Writing. OCCC is using that same curriculum, and they are doing 3,000 people plus a month. Yes.
So it's a $20 registration fee for the 6-week program you said, and it's here?
Yes, it is.
What all does that entail?
The curriculum
Yes,
or the classes? Okay, so I'll give you an example. For the GED HiSET, they have to cover 5 subjects, all 5 subjects as you were in high school. And so the adjunct will have a plan of study, they'll have a syllabus, and they will go through all 5 subjects during the 5 weeks, and then the 6th week will be the review, in preparing them for the state test. And these are all individually based, people who need assistance with reading and writing, and of course with conversational English, English as a second language. That's self-paced, but they will
But
get
it's here, the GED one,
a same computer lab.
what are the hours or something like that?
So here we have a schedule.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I can't see that
That's
good.
all right.
I
That's
don't
okay.
have my glasses.
But this schedule, I'm gonna make a mini schedule so you all know what's going on and you can redirect, especially for our staff up front, so they can help direct traffic. Our plans are to check them in prior to them getting to the main lobby, but if we miss someone, they can redirect. So I'll make sure that everyone knows what's going on that day and which session is taking place. Because sometimes it's confusing. They may get confused on which session they need to be attending, where they go. So you all will help direct that traffic. And I will have the adjuncts assisting me on that day, and Metro Tech staff as needed. Okay, again, this is not set in stone, but every Friday, please know, will be orientation and TABE testing right here, every Friday. And currently, we already have a waiting list. I say waiting list, a pipeline of people who are already signed up for the GED. We will go, I wanna make sure, 12 weeks with a full class for 12 weeks, right here. With the holidays, our start date is kind of being juggled right now. They're trying to make a decision because we got the Thanksgiving holiday coming up. We also have a 2-week break with Metro Tech. So I'm anxious and ready to get it started. We gotta make sure that we don't have a big gap in between their lesson plans. So you will know, because I will be so excited with balloons running through here that my sessions are starting. So make sure you share that with your customers and send them over to me, because I can talk them through the career coach side of it as well when it comes to planning for adult, not just adult basic ed, but furthering their education, bachelor, master's. All right? Any questions?
Any questions?
My question was, I know just the difference between the area in Guthrie Metro versus the one in Oklahoma City is, what's the main difference as far as this?
Okay, the one that is, the new one that's being built, okay, that's part of the Indian Meridian VOTEC from Stillwater. So Metro Tech is a career center as well, but that's 2 different entities.
Yes.
So our 3 locations is, again, Spring Lake, South Bryant, and then the aviation campus by the airport.
Now, I guess my question is, as far as relations, as far as the, because like I had a student who didn't quite fit our criteria. Would it be best to direct them straight to you, or would it be best to?
Well, we have the office in Guthrie for them to stop in there, and the same resources that are in this center are at that Guthrie office.
And your one-stop operator, that's what she does. So connect them with me, because Meridian is one of my partners, but just in that area. Sansare's covering Central.
Okay, good deal.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Any other questions?
No.
No? Thank you, Charles.
Thank you,
And
Councilor.
please, tap on the door, come on in, open door. My door is shut simply out of respect to the computer lab and what's going on, but you can come anytime and discuss that. I mean, just walk your customer right over. I'll make sure I make time for them, all right?
Thank you,
Thank
Sansare.
Thank you.
I have to brag on Sansare like a lot. When we first talked to Metro Tech, their campus is just a mile over. And the idea of having them be in our center was not really that hard of a sell, because your superintendent is so forward thinking. And he said, yes, of course we want to be here. What do you need? And immediately I said, we have to have a means to have our job seekers have classes on site here, because that's something that was created years and years ago, where we had providers come into the one-stop centers or whatever, but over years, you know, people get in their silos and they get, you know, divided and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, if you can imagine, as Donna alluded to earlier, we're coming back to that sort of community feel again. And so you all are a part of that process. So we are super thrilled that she's here. I know that she's going to do great things when you see the balloons, know it's starting. So she's ready to go.
I'll be running down the
That's right. So our last partner, but one of the most important ones, because we actually reached out to them and said, hey, you need to be a part of this conversation as well. So we have Work Ready Oklahoma. Damian Parks will be talking to us about what all they can do.
And the calendar invite was till 4, so everyone buckle up. Just kidding. Good afternoon, guys. My name's Damian Parks. I'm part of the Work Ready Oklahoma team. And what you'll find out really quickly is we have a lot of programs within our, I guess if you want to call it, portfolio platform. That's because Work Ready Oklahoma is a collaborative effort of both Public Strategies and IMCI. That's the short version for It's My Community Initiative, okay? So when you think about us, I'll try and end our presentation on what the takeaways are, because we have a lot of boxes to check. That's my job to know those boxes, not everyone in the room, all right? So that being said, though, we have one door for multiple programs. And so when you think about Work Ready, what we'd love for you to think about is either family-centered services or employment services, okay? For everyone in the room, I know we love every one of your programs too, as we've been here a couple weeks. So first of all, thank you for being great neighbors and welcoming us as a new neighbor. But think how our programs can be a co-enrollment opportunity for individuals that are in your particular programs, okay? We can provide some additional supports that may not be available in yours, and then you guys can provide stuff that we can't necessarily do. So we've got to come together. So we have a bunch of programs, but they fit under family-centered services or employment services. Make sense? You can go to the next slide. So I'll start in by talking about our family-centered services ones. And again, you guys were here last week. I don't have time for questions. I'm kidding. So, but we'll save those for the end, right? So one of our family-centered services programs has been around for quite a long time. It's called Family Expectations. This program is perfect for couples that are in a committed relationship that just found out they're having a baby, okay? Or they just had a baby that's 3 months old or younger, all right? It's a year-long program. They go through 8 weeks of workshop, and then they get paired with a coach for a year. You guys know if there's a baby on the way, it does change the environment. And so what we want to try and do is give those couples tools as they're trying to navigate that environment, if that makes sense. So of course they get paired with a coach, which is an opportunity for us to provide tools for that situation. But also, when they go through the program, they'll receive sort of cash incentives to be a part of the program. Our workshops happen in our facility during the evenings and on the weekends. We provide them a meal when they come. To be honest with you, it's almost like the couple gets a date night when they come to our workshops, which is pretty cool. And it's an opportunity for them to sort of connect with other couples in a cohort, if that makes sense. So we have, of course, cash incentives that I mentioned. We also have an on-site crib, which is really great since Babies R Us is closed down. It's basically like an on-site Babies R Us for our couples that come through our program. They earn crib cash as they participate in the workshop. Opportunity to spend that on everything baby related, right? And this is also an opportunity for our coaches to provide more tools. Again, if a couple comes through this, we want them to have tools in their toolbox, so when that baby turns 3, they're starting to think about, okay, what kind of car seat do I need to start looking at? Those sorts of things when it comes to family-centered stuff. So again, this is Family Expectations. You can check it out at familyexpectations.com, but again, we want you to just come to us if there's a couple that pops up, right? Oh my gosh, they have a baby on the way. I'm gonna try and help them get a job, and there's another opportunity for them to get some support within their family situation. Make sense? Any questions on Family Expectations? Oh, you guys are so good. I'm not that good. Come on. All right. Another family-centered program that we have is one called True Dads. You might have heard about this one on the radio. To be honest with you, one of my buddies does the radio, and I've never heard it, okay? So it's True Dads. It's a fatherhood program. This is a family-centered program for individuals, which they have to be 18 years or older. The only eligibility requirement is, do they want to be a great dad, and do they have a child that's 12 years old or younger, okay? One of the requirements is that they need to go through this particular program with a co-parent. Notice it's a little different from family expectations. They don't have to be in a committed relationship here, okay? Sometimes we'll have dads go through this with dad's mom, dad's brother, right? Just another 18-year-old and above that has a vested interest in the life of the child. Does that make sense? Real similar structure to family expectations. We have workshops that happen in our building during the evenings and on the weekends. It's a year-long program. We'll connect them to a coach that sticks with them as they're going through the 8 weeks of the curriculum. But then also one of my favorite parts about this is they immediately get connected to a cohort of other father figures, okay? And I think I said this last week, it's a blessing to have relational connections sometimes. We don't even think about that. So when we put individuals in both of these programs cohorts, they suddenly have other people that they can do life with or have connections that they can call if they need childcare or stuff comes up in life. So this is some of the supports here. Obviously, they have a cash stipend. We'll pay for dinner to have during the workshop evening. No crib cash here because you can have a 4-year-old and a 12-year-old, right, that participate in the program. But they do earn cash incentives. We'll pay for transportation. We'll get them where they need to go. But at the end of the day, this is just another opportunity to provide supports for them to help maybe remove some barriers that are involved in their life, right? And at the end of the day, this program here is trying to help dads be the best dad they can be. Make sense? So it's a program out there. It's been around for a long time, and I've actually participated in it, so I think it's a really great program as a biased opinion. There you go. So, True Dads. Another program that we have that fits underneath our family-centered services side is one we call Wellspring. This is a newer program for us, but I'll give you a little insight into what it is, okay? It's a couples retreat program, a couples retreat. Now, you may wonder, why, that sort of thing. But Wellspring, it allows couples that fit into certain maybe life skills or categories go spend the weekend together. We've done a couple of these so far. One of them we did was for adopted parents. Now you think about that, like if you're an adopted family, when is the last time they've had a chance as a couple to go together on a weekend retreat, right? And we found that we had around 30 couples in the room. Some of them hadn't been on a retreat in 15 years, right? But it was an opportunity for them to come together, spend some time together as a couple, to connect with other couples, also to receive tools on how to navigate life well, right? So it's a really cool opportunity for that. We've done some for foster parents as well, again, foster parents and adoptive parents, they have a different framework when it comes to trying to set up childcare for stuff like this. So we're able to provide the resources and the retreat for them, put them up in a hotel, do all those sorts of things, and we help them with the childcare piece, which can sometimes cause a little bit of anxiety. Make sense? So see, these are 3 great family-centered services programs. Another program that I'll briefly mention that for us is more of a resource than it is a program. It's one called Safe Families OK, and it provides respite care in emergency situations for families. Let's say single mom, 3 kids, finds herself in a car wreck. What can happen during the kids if she's got to be in the hospital for 2 weeks? Safe Families becomes a resource that we can leverage to help in the short term provide care for those kids, right? There are families that are fully vetted and background checked, ready to step in and help out in those emergency situations to take care of that family's children, because the car wreck really isn't necessarily her fault. Make sense? So Safe Families. Yeah,
what
question.
What was that website? Safe Families?
Safe Families OK. Yeah. Safe Families OK. Provides respite care during emergency situations. So sometimes some of our participants in our other programs have leveraged this as a resource. So it's not necessarily a program. I just want you to know that it's a part of what we do within our family-centered services stuff. Make sense? So those are 4 great programs / resources, whatever you want to call them, which leads me to the other half, which is what's on our door and what you see on the slides and what you see around our folders and our cards, and that's the Work Ready Oklahoma piece. Before I dive deep into those, I want you to know that if we have an individual that's in any one of these other programs, they can access our employment stuff. Within our own house, we can co-enroll, right? That's just what we are. So I mentioned at the beginning, because that's kind of our heart here, but I want you to know that we try and do that as well. If we have a True Dads that we find out that they lost a job, we're going to do everything we can to help that situation out, right? Because you guys know employment's a game changer, but also having good tools to be a good dad is a game changer too, right? So we can co-enroll, which leads me to Work Ready Oklahoma, which should be perfect. You can go to the next slide. I'll talk about that at some point. Perfect. Work Ready Oklahoma, right over here, applies both work readiness education as well as employment connection, okay? So what we want our individuals to do, whether they're in True Dads or whether they come straight through the door at Work Ready Oklahoma, or if you guys send people straight through the door at Work Ready Oklahoma when a co-enrollment comes into play, what we try and do is really simple. We want to provide our participants tools for how to navigate the workforce, okay? Find the job, get the job, and keep the job, which is that critical piece, that last one I mentioned. But then we also want to get them connected straight to employers, and if we can help pay for vocational training, we will do that as well. Does that make sense? So Work Ready Oklahoma, a couple ways that you can enter into the door at Work Ready Oklahoma. One is very simple. You just have to have active SNAP benefits. Okay? If you have active SNAP benefits, you can come right into the door at Work Ready Oklahoma. It doesn't matter what's in your background. It doesn't matter if you've been unemployed for 50 years. Okay? It doesn't matter the age. If you have active SNAP benefits, you can participate. That being said, if you guys have participants as well that you're trying to help navigate the employment piece, think about maybe there's some ways that we can provide some supports alongside of you as you're navigating that as well. Make sense? So Work Ready Oklahoma, if you have active SNAP benefits, you qualify. What does that look like? We put our participants through a 2-week-long workshop piece, and we have 2 buildings. We have one in Bricktown, and then we have one that just recently opened up on Northeast 23rd Street, which is really close to this location. So a lot of our participants that we have here will end up doing their workshop piece over there, right? Once they go through that workshop piece, we will help them with the application piece. We will pay to have a professional resume built for them. We'll actually put them sort of through mock interview training for them to have them ready to go. And then, of course, we work with a bunch of employers, which Jamie, she's on the team with me. We work with a bunch of employers that we we get direct connection to for our participants and try and remove whatever background barriers they might have, and we put them in direct connect with employers that we work with to kind of remove the barriers, if that makes sense. It sounds 2 weeks, it goes really quickly, to be honest with you, and individuals are getting connected to great employers. Make sense? A couple of benefits of that. Once an individual enrolls in our program, we can provide transportation support. What's that mean? We can give them a bus pass or a gas card to get where they need to go. And once they get the job, we'll continue to give them those so they can start to see income coming in on their own, all right? We will also pay for interview clothing. We will pay for work clothing if they start the job on a Monday after the workshop and they say, hey, show up with these 3 things, we'll pay for that, okay? Once they complete our workshop, if it's in their sort of career path, we'll pay for short-term vocational training as well. At all part of the program too, which is a really great benefit to our participants. If they've kind of been on the fence, hey, I've done these 5 jobs for the last 20 years and I didn't like any one of them, well then we can maybe help put them on a career path and pay for some vocational training. Make sense? So if you kind of have some individual that goes on somebody knows.
Yeah, send them the mention.
Yeah, we do, as we do, right? A couple of things I want to mention. We also have another program if they don't have SNAP. It's called Move Forward, Move Up. It's for 18 to 24 years old. Yes, you know we work with you directly too. 18 to 24 years old. If they're 18 to 24 and they've been involved in the justice system, you guys know that there's because of the age, there's already not much on the resume. And then justice involvement too can create some barriers for employment. So that program is designed to help pay for vocational training for those young adults so they can have a really great resume and we'll get them connected directly with employers. Make sense? What we try and do in our space is to try and promote self-sustainability, and we also try and remove barriers. That's it. So if I can find a way, if my team can find a way to help you guys do what you do and help get them enrolled in programs that we might have, even if they're in the programs you already have, we can try and help remove some barriers for our individuals, okay? A couple things I want to mention, because I did go over a lot of programs, is one, just keep in mind, what's Work Ready? They deal with familyhood and employment. Okay, we'll take care of the rest. If you have any questions, I will say, obviously you can send people over to us because we'll be in the office. Myself won't be there every time, but we have a really great team that will be there. And then the other thing is you can just connect with us online. Like Work Ready Oklahoma is a great way to go, I'm not at the one stop today, but I have somebody that maybe just go to workreadyoklahoma.com, go to the very bottom, type in their information, and we'll get in contact with both you and them. Does that make sense? Just let us know from AJC. So again, that's all I have. Any questions from you guys?
What counties do you serve?
We currently serve the entire state if they have SNAP. Now you guys know some of the challenges will be just transportation can be a barrier. So we do have both of our locations downtown and then 23rd Street. And we also have recently opened up on the eastern part of the state as well. So we serve the 5 counties specifically that surround Lake Eufaula. And I know within our team that it's a big heart for us to start serving the entire state. We can serve them, but some of the difficulty be connecting with employers, but we'll work with anybody. So.
Are your family-centered services LGBTQ friendly?
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes, that's a great question, thank you, yep.
That was a great question.
It is, it is. So, for us, it's just giving them tools, removing barriers, promoting self-sustainability, and we'll help get anyone a job regardless of what's in their background too. Perfect. Thank you,
Great,
Kim.
thank you.
I'm Jamie, I'm the Work Ready Oklahoma. You'll probably see me more than maybe Damien, but I think I know everybody here already. If you need anything, let me know.
Hello to the.
I'm Jamie Yarbrough. Hello.
Go.
Hello.
Okay, so that's our training for you all. Do you have any questions? I have a few comments, and then I'm gonna let you guys. I'm gonna give some time back to you guys today. So, any questions, comments? Okay. So if you haven't heard, DRS is moving upstairs, and they complete the 4 core partnerships that we have in terms of the one-stop system. So if you came to the partners conference, you should know now who the 4 core partners are. So they will be upstairs. There's going to be a lot of pounding, and you're going to hear some construction upstairs. But our hope and goal is for them to be upstairs, that they're moving their entire headquarters here, and then they're going to have veterans representatives here. So when you have someone that has a disability, then we're going to be able to make a referral to them upstairs. Other things on the horizon, since you guys are in here, is I'm in talks with, since Michael brought up that Veterans Upper Bound is now in the cubicle area, that vacates their office back there with the DevOps and Lever. I am in a conversation with the Oklahoma Department of Veterans Affairs, and they would like to be a part of our AJC. So my hope is if they come, that's going to provide even that much support for our veteran services. So other than that, I don't have anything for you guys. I want to thank Dana Clark from the COWIB board coming. If you all can give her a round of applause. She's a great support for me. And again, I'm going to get this information out. You'll get the slideshows. That will be information provided to you all. If you have any questions, just ask. I have operator in my name or my title. There's a reason for that. If you have any questions or any concerns about community-based organizations or partnerships, please reach out to me. I'm here for that. Other than that, have a great rest of your day. Thank you.